Welcome back to My Block's Strongest Man, where we're going to be talking about more competitor spotlights of the competitors for the Shaw Classic, the inaugural Brian Shaw Classic 2020. Ciao, homie! Welcome to My Block's Strongest Man, where we bring attention to the world of strongman and show you how you can mimic those activities using everyday objects all around your own property. If you haven't done so yet, consider subscribing and remember to hit that bell button for all notifications so you'll know whenever I provide all the valuable content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So without further ado, on to today's topic. So today I wanted to talk about Robert Oberst, the American Monster, and how he's preparing for the Shaw Classic. So, first, before we do that, let's take a look at how he did at World's Strongest Man. And we can do that by taking a look at some of my other videos that if you haven't checked them out yet, you should. I have the complete day one results from World's Strongest Man. So if we blow that up a bit, we can see they started off with a farmer's walk, 331 pounds per hand for max distance. And that's the one where they were only able to drop it in the designated zones at each end of the 10-meter track. And so Robert Oberst came in second in his group there. Not among the top leaders, though, like his 38.37 would have been behind Jerry, behind Evan Singleton, Kevin Ferris, Mark Felix, Shivlikov. Like, he would have been behind a lot of guys if you're comparing the total competitors here. And then he had deadlift as the second event. Some guys had squats. He had deadlift. Robert Oberst is kind of notoriously known for being really good at squats and not so good at deadlifts. And that kind of came true here. So he came in last in his group, 1 rep on the 761-pound deadlift for max reps in 60 seconds. So that put him at 5 points after day 1. So how did he do in the qualifiers for day 2? Well, I got a video about that too. So if you haven't checked that one yet, check out Finalist Reveal 2020 World's Strongest Man, where I break all that down and give you all the info on what happened there. But to be kind of succinct about it and summarize, there was a loading medley with monster truck parts where Robert Oberst came in third in his group, decent but not great time there. And then he had a log lift after where he came in third in his group there, but that's only because Jerry Pritchett and Luke Richardson tied at 9 reps on that 330.7-pound log for reps in 75 seconds, and Robert Oberst was only 1 rep off the leader there, right? So even though he was in third place, not bad there. So if we take a look at the compilation of all those things, his points in day 1 and day 2 put him at 11 points, which was third in his group. And then Jerry Pritchett won the group, so he advanced to the finals. Luke Richardson ended up advancing over Robert Oberst in that particular group. And I had heard all kinds of information about Robert injured his bicep, and here we go again, he's prone to bicep injuries, and I haven't heard anything since. I haven't seen him post about it on his YouTube channel or his Instagram, or I haven't seen anybody else kind of cover that topic. So I don't know if it was maybe a minor injury. I don't think I misheard because I heard it a few times. So maybe it was a minor injury that isn't bothering him, or maybe it is bothering him and he's not letting on and he's kind of pushing through with his training anyway. But that being said, he didn't make the final. So if you were to go back and check my winner revealed video where I talk about Novikov winning, you can see Robert Oberst is not in the list here of finalists where Novikov wins and you have Stallman, Carone, Pritchett, Shaw, and so forth. Robert Oberst is not in this list. Luke Richardson and Jerry Pritchett are the ones that advanced out of that group. And so, bicep or performance, something held him out of the finals. So that being said, let's go take a look at how he's been preparing. Well, he first prepared by releasing a new really cool shirt, which I agree is really cool. That was a week ago. And then if we kind of scroll through his Instagram, he's working off some Thanksgiving weight, but using machines, things that would never be an event in a World's Strongest Man or a Shaw Classic or any kind of strongman event. He's kind of just goofing around here a little bit. And then here releases another shirt. So he's a showman, right? Like, Robert Oberst is a character. I love his character. I love to follow him. He's super entertaining. So he has merchandise that he's pushing here, and you can't fault his hustle. Like, I love him and I love his merchandise. So, but then I'm like scrolling through and trying to find some training and some prep, and I finally found some here. So he's doing a frame carry, which seems pretty heavy. Like, it seems like 2 plates per corner. So that would be 90, 180, 270, 360 plus whatever the frame weighs. So
that could be really heavy. Let's say I've seen frames recently weigh like 200 pounds, so maybe it's like 560. I don't know. It's hard to take a guess at what the frame weighs, and he doesn't mention a weight. And so it's really tough to say, like, yeah, he's moving well. He's not the fastest frame carrier I've seen, but he's moving well. And that speed of movement and the distance he's carrying it, which I don't know the distance either, because he hasn't mentioned it, are all relative to what it weighs, and I can't guess what the frame weighs, so it's hard to say. Jerry Pritchett did a frame carry in the 800s pounds, right? And if you haven't seen that video, go check out my video spotlighting Jerry Pritchett, where I walk through all the prep he's doing. He's looking super impressive leading up to the Shaw Classic. So, can't really say much here. Then I scroll through a little more, and here we have a log lift. And so, of course, Robert Oberst has been known in the past for being really good at log lifts. He had the American record for a while, and here, puts up that rep relatively easily. But again, like, that's all we see, one rep, which is cool. Like, there's a max log lift at the Shaw Classic, but I don't know what this weighs. Like, those don't look like 45-pound plates on the sides. Like, are they hundreds? So that's 400 pounds plus a light log, or are they 55s? Like, in which case that would be 220 plus a log. I have no idea what he's lifting here, so it's really hard to make a determination based on what I'm seeing here. He says he is feeling a little tight and needs a good massage and so forth. And again, this is 3 days ago, so all these guys seem to, not all of them, not Terry Hollins. Terry Hollins seems to have been training a lot all along, but some of the guys, I'll say, have been cutting their training a little short leading into the Shaw Classic. And again, it's probably because they had to recover from World's Strongest Man. Like, you can't just train all the way through and never recover, so you can't blame any of them for that. But, and then I just scrolled through a little more, having a little bit of fun times there. Here's some patriotic post, and that's it. So it's really hard to tell kind of what his preparation's like, even though we see him doing good preparation, because I don't know what any of the weights or distances are. Whereas with some of the other guys, like Maxime told us what his log press was, and it was hella impressive. Like, it was, whoa, like Maxime can press that much weight compared to what I just saw Luke Stoltman fail on in his video? Alrighty then. But so, taking that information into consideration, we come back to my predictions for the Shaw Classic. And on the log press, I have Robert Oberst with 5 points. So who do I have ahead of him, do you ask? I had Jerry Pritchett winning the log press, and I'm taking heat on YouTube a little bit on that. A lot of people are telling me it's a no-brainer that Luke Stoltman's going to win the log press, but I do have Luke in second place, right? And it's only like kind of because of the failure at 440 that he had on his prep video, because as I mentioned on that video that I made about Luke Stoltman specifically, he doesn't have to break records to win this event. But I just think Jerry more recently looked more impressive. So, and second place, 9 points is not bad. It's incredible, right? So Luke Stoltman coming in second with 9. Then I have Maxime Boudreau, because his log press, go check out his Instagram if you haven't. It's looking like really great. I have him coming in third with 8 points. Kevin Ferris coming in fourth with 7 points. And then Novikov with 6 points. And I have Robert Oberst coming in right after that with 5 points. And if you think any of the guys I mentioned above him are not going to be able to press what Robert can press, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I'm totally off base here, but there might be a bicep injury we're not hearing about. He's not saying what the weight is. He may not be the presser he used to be. Like, there's a bunch of factors that go into this. So again, if you think Robert's going to outpress Novikov, Pritchett, Ferris, and Maxime, and Luke Stoltman, let me know. Or any one of those, let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. I want to hear about it in the comments. Super Yoke, I gave him last place there. So I feel like all the guys are either faster or stronger there than he is. He didn't get a chance to make it to the finals and do a yoke recently that I could see what he can do with, so I have no evidence to be able to put him up any higher than that. Alexi, Pritchett, Shaw, Ferris, JF, all these guys were at World's Strongest Man. Let's see. So let's actually go through. Alexi, finalist. Jerry, finalist. Brian Shaw, finalist. Kevin Ferris, finalist. Caron was a finalist. Maxime was not. Adam Bishop was. Luke Stoltman was not. Terry Hollins was not. So a lot of these guys the majority of the guys I have above him actually got to do a yoke that we could see how well they do or hear about how well they do because we haven't seen the broadcast for that portion yet. But I think you get the point. Farmers, I have him third from the bottom, so 3 points. Have him doing better than Luke Stoltman and Adam Bishop, and that's it. Everyone else I feel, again, is faster, better gripped, or what have you. And again, I'd be glad to be proven wrong, but I just don't have the evidence with him that I do with some of the other guys from what I've seen of their prep to be able to make a different determination. So no dig on Robert. I love Robert, and I'm a big fan. Deadlift, he's notoriously not great in the deadlift, and the one data point that we have from World's Strongest Man shows that still to be true. Like, he didn't do well in the deadlift. And then circus dumbbell lift, I have him with 4 points, so doing better than Terry Hollins, Adam Bishop, and JF Caron. So we'll see. JF had, didn't do great with the log medley, the original log event for reps in the qualifiers. He only did the one he had to do, so I have 2 data points for him for overhead pressing, and I know a circus dumbbell is different than that, but for overhead pressing, I have one where I couldn't see his best and one where he didn't do great, so I'm not giving JF great points there. And then on Atlas Stones, I have Robert Oberst with 2 points doing better than Kevin Ferris, but not anyone else. So I have Robert Oberst finishing in 10th place, and again, we have to keep in mind that World's Strongest Man was fashioned in a way where you had 2 days of qualifiers, where you had to either win your group or come in second or third so you could face off against each other in the stone off and try to make it to the finals that way. This time, it's just the 10 best guys, and it's just you have to be better than the 9 other guys. And so I feel, points-wise, the way I've lined it up here, that he'll be in 10th place among this group of guys. So let me know if what you think of my analysis. Let me know if I'm off base on any of these events. Let me know if you've seen any other updates from Robert Oberst that would prove that he'll do better in any of these events than I have put him in. And let me know all of this in the comments below, and I'll be happy to see you again when I do the next Athlete Spotlight if I can finally find some updates on JF Caron. We'll see you next time. Take care. So if you like this video and want to learn more about any of the products I described during this video, make sure to check out the links in the description below. So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.